The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Mandaluyong City has started vaccinating members of the A4 priority group, or the so-called economic frontliners. Greg Gregorio is on the ground to give us the latest. Good afternoon, Greg. Tell us, how many workers have been inoculated in Mandaluyong City so far?
Charles, about 100 workers have been given their first shot of COVID-19 vaccine here at the Mandaluyong City Mega Vaccination Site 10-1 this morning. Those individuals who got their first jab were tricycle and jeepney drivers as well as market vendors. But as you can see behind me, more workers from Pag-ibig have also arrived here at the vaccination site. Charles?
All right, Greg, for clarity, could you give us a recap of the subgroup, the specific subgroup for the A4 category, and is Mandaluyong City following this?
Yes, Charles, under the simplified list, under the government simplified list of individuals under the A4, included are those workers at the private sector, but who needs to go out of their residence or to go to their workplace. Also included are those individuals working in government agencies as well as GOCCs and the local government units. Also included are those working in the informal sector who might need to go out of their residence, or those who are self-employed and doing business at their private households. Charles?
Greg, could you tell us what the Mandaluyong LGU's daily vaccination target is for the A4 cluster?
Charles, for today, 100 workers is their target to be vaccinated. But according to Mandaluyong City Mayor Menchi Abalos, their daily vaccination for the A4 sector might reach to up to 4,000 each day. Charles?
Today and maybe 4,000 each day. How many workers in total are registered under the A4 list for Mandaluyong?
Charles, according to Mayor Abalos, as of today, 20,000 workers have already registered for the vaccination, but they believe that it will increase further as they are expecting more registrants from 15,000 registered businesses here in this city. Charles?
Right, so we're starting with the A4 group in Mandaluyong. Is the city still vaccinating A1 to A3, and how are they going about this?
Yes, Charles, you are right. The Mandaluyong City is still vaccinating people under A1, A2, and A3. This is part of the government's guidelines for the simultaneous vaccination of individuals under the A1 to A4 priority sector. We were told that if an individual classified as A2 or senior citizen will come here at the vaccination site, he or she will be escorted to the special lane, wherein there will be a faster process for him or for her as compared to those who are classified under the A3 and A4. Charles?
Right, for Mandaluyong residents who are economic frontliners who are listening right now, who are watching, what is the process like for economic frontliners so far as registration? Are walk-ins allowed?
Charles, aside from residents of Mandaluyong, Mayor Abalos said those who are working in the city who may not be residents of the city may also be vaccinated here. All they have to do is register at the website or register on the website of the Mandaluyong, which is Mandavax, and a list or a master list per business establishment is also given to the LGU for the line list of those A4 individuals who will be given their COVID-19 vaccine here at the LGU. Charles?
Thank you for those updates, Greg. That was Greg Gregorio reporting live from Mandaluyong. Davao City is expected to outpace Quezon City in the most number of new COVID-19 cases in the coming days. Based on the latest report from the Octa Research Group, Davao City is projected to surpass daily fresh infections in QC before next week. Professor Guido David earlier told Agenda that the surge in COVID-19 cases in Davao City might last for a month. Citing Metro Manila and Metro Cebu, David says big cities usually take longer in managing their caseload. And David stressed that vaccination is the most effective way to prevent future surges.
We have to get people vaccinated. This is the only way na talagang we can be assured na we will prevent future surge. We're doing okay sa NCR. Pero at some point, nagkaka-pandemic fatigue, nagkaka-complacency. And that's why it's important for people to get vaccinated.
Here are other stories we are keeping our eyes on. Malacanang says President Duterte will hold his weekly address to the nation after meeting with IATF officials later tonight. As the A4 vaccination kickoff earlier today, Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez says they will be pushing for relaxed COVID-19 protocols for fully vaccinated senior citizens, as well as the further easing of restrictions for inbound travelers. Police Chief Guillermo Eleazar has ordered a manhunt for members of the New People's Army who reportedly planted the improvised explosive device that killed 2 people in Masbate City. Eleazar has tasked the local police to coordinate with the military on the manhunt. The IED blast killed 21-year-old FEU football player Keith Absalon, as well as his cousin. The Filipino sports community celebrates Yuka Saso's historic U.S. Women's Open win in San Francisco. Kai Soto and Heidelin Diaz, both international talents of their own, were among those who commended Saso. Saso is the first Filipina to win the major and also tied Hall of Fame golfer Inbee Park as the youngest U.S. Women's Open champion in history. We'll have more stories after a quick break. Keep it here. Interesting. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The Quezon City LGU is looking into the super spreader event in Barangay Old Balara, where more than 70 attendees tested positive for COVID-19. Let's get the latest on this from Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte herself, who is joining us over the phone. Good afternoon, Mayor Joy. Has anyone been held liable for this super spreader wedding reception in Old Balara so far?
Well, in Old Balara, the super spreader event that occurred there last few weeks ago, what we've done is we've issued a show cause order to the Punong Barangay. And I expect that his reply has already been submitted to us, and it will be evaluated and reviewed by our city council, or I mean to say our city legal. And if there is merit, or lack of merit rather, it should be forwarded to the City Council, which is the Special Investigative Committee on Barangay Officials, and they will have to make a decision on that. No? Now, with regards to filing cases, we have filed a case in the prosecutor's office against the Homeowners Association president, because according to our contact tracing reports, the super spreader events, which is the wedding and the drinking that occurred in relation to that wedding, was with the blessings of the Homeowners Association president.
Right, so Mayor, this is rather unfortunate given the progress that the NCR Plus in general has been making, but then how are you intensifying efforts against super spreader events such as this one? Could this be due to vaccine complacency?
This is actually already the second major one that has been recorded. No, the first one occurred in Barangay Nagkaisang Bayan, and the same actions were taken. A show cause order to the Punong Barangay and a case filed against the Homeowners Association president. But I don't see this as a result of vaccine complacency. I see this as a result of the change in quarantine status from MECQ to ECQ, how I believe had a psychological effect on the people in general, wherein they felt probably that the virus was dissipating and that things were safer and that they could be more, pwede silang magluwag sa kanilang mga ginagawa. No?
Right, Mayor Joy, how are coordination efforts going on with the DOH on banning these types of parties and other super spreader events?
Well, there's really not much participation from the Department of Health. No, we in the LGU have had to do it all on our own. And what we've done is we've issued a series of guidelines already. No? So there are actually two types of super spreader events, Charles. One is, of course, the super spreader events that are the result of, activities that are at the moment still prohibited, like social gatherings, like big weddings or inuman, or these or big social gatherings that like videoke, etc. No? That's one. And the second kind of super spreader event are of course events that are actually of good intention, like humanitarian activities, charitable activities, where organizers unfortunately are unable to coordinate properly with local governments. So they use super spreader events when the intent is actually good, just to provide assistance and aid to the people. No? So what we've done in Quezon City is we've issued a series of guidelines that all people, law enforcers, even the private sector who would like to undertake humanitarian activities. And part of these guidelines include the need for example, charitable or groups to coordinate with the local government at least about 3 days to 5 days ahead of scheduled activity, so that we can prepare a plan of action to cover all things, including for example. Now, in regards to the super spreader events, we've also organized foot patrols. We worked with the police now, the barangay tanods, our task force disciplina, and also our Department of Public Order and Safety. And we are now being very intensive with regard to activities going in all of the different barangays. And we've also encouraged the people to report to us via our hotline 122 if they have observed any kind of violations to our health protocol, so that we can act on them right away. So far, a combination of enforcement plus added, monitoring by our police and other enforcement agencies, and also the participation of the people has lessened the number of super spreader events that we've experienced recently.
All right, Mayor Joy, let's talk about some good news for a change. Has the A4 vaccine drive, we're talking about the new category of priorities, has the A4 vaccine drive started in Quezon City, and how's it going so far?
Well, actually, Charles, we were told that we can already start vaccinating A4s, but actually we've run out of vaccines a long time ago. And we're waiting for the Department of Health to just deliver to us our allocation of vaccines so that we can begin inoculating A4s already, because we're more than prepared to do so.
All right, thank you for your time this afternoon. That was Quezon City Mayor Joy Belmonte. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Do visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. And you can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, stay safe, Philippines. I'm Charles Lejano. We are One News.